Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Welcome back to a new Steel Division 2 League cast. The matchup we have today is a Division 3 cast. It is Crippling Depression versus BigJim. So on the left hand side in blue we have Crippling Depression playing Panzerleia on Vanguard Income. On the right hand side in red we have BigJim. He's playing the 84th Guard Strelkovi on Balanced Income. So in terms of this matchup and this map, BigJim's on Balanced Income. He has the 84th Guard, so I imagine quite a lot of IS-2s could come out for him. Crippling Depression on the other hand, he's got the Panzerleia and they can, pull out quite a lot of Panthers as well. And it looks like at the moment he's doing a bit of a southern push. Who's going to win this matchup? Yeah, it's a tough one to call. The two players, I know BigJim, I've cast him before in one of the tournaments, so it's great to see him again. I'm not fully aware of Crippling Depression. I don't think I've cast him before. It may have been under a different name, maybe. He may have been using a different name, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Let's have a look at Crippling Depression's deck. So he's on the left hand side in blue playing Panzerleia on Vanguard Income. He has two cards of Pumas in A phase as well as the SPW 234/1s. Those Pumas can do a fair bit of damage with their gun. I think the thing with the 84th Guards is they don't get a lot of supporting vehicles early, so Crippling Depression could be looking to take advantage of that. In terms of the Panthers is at his disposal, well, he's got quite a lot of them. I mean, he's got a reasonable amount of them. He's got 7 in A phase, 6 in B phase, and 9 in C phase. He's also got 8 Jagdpanzer 4s in the anti-tank tab, so don't underestimate those Jagdpanzer 4s either. Also, this game was played prior to the Fate of Finland patch, and whereas the deck that we're looking at is post-patch, so there may have been some number changes with the patch notes. For example, I think the SDK have said you only get 2 in B now, whereas in this game, I think Crippling Depression will have had access to more SDK have said 7 ones. Let's have a look at BigJim's deck. So we had, how many Panthers was it? It was around about 20 Panthers, I think. Whereas BigJim has access to 8 IS-2s. Now, the IS-2 just completely top trumps the Panther, but it's kind of, will BigJim be able to support those IS-2s? He has the 6 T-34Es, he has 3 KV-85s, but that's it in terms of armoured vehicles. 9 other armoured vehicles outside those IS-2s, so we could see those IS-2s become very very out in the open, left on their own, kind of vulnerable. They could become very vulnerable with no, without the supporting vehicles. So we'll have to see how BigJim, deals with that. In terms of infantry, the Chernopidzniki in A are strong. Strafniki in B are strong. 84th get access to a lot of strong infantry. So this map will be an advantage to him in the centre. In the southern side, I think he will have the advantage. I think BigJim will have the advantage overall in the infantry game. I guess he has the advantage in a way in the tank game, IS-2 versus Panther. So yeah, I think Crippling Depression will have to really take advantage of the lack of supporting tanks that BigJim can put out there. He's going to have to try and avoid the IS-2s and engage on it on his own terms. So we'll see how that goes. I think the IL-237 plane could come into it for BigJim. This is pre-Fate of Finland patch, so we'll see how that evolves. So looking at the deployments for the two players, it looks like Crippling Depression on the left hand side in blue. You know, he has two Pumas early, an SBW 234/1, two Panthers, a Commander, and just two infantry with all of that lot. So I mean, where is all of that lot going to go? I imagine it's going somewhere down here, but just two infantry units. In the center area, we've got three Flammenwerfers, two Panzergrens, and a Panzergren Führer with the SDK said 251/9. So that's a nice unit to bring those Panzergren Führers in. I imagine that's going to come into this central position here. So imagine one of those infantry units will at least come up into this area. Probably both of them actually, and then the tanks will take the southern side. In the northern area, we've got a Panzergren, a Puma, and then a Panzergren and a Flammenwerfer in the very far north. And that is, you know, directly in comparison to all of these infantry units from BigJim. So it looks like it's going to be tanks from Crippling Depression and infantry from BigJim. But BigJim does have access to this IS-2 down here, the IS-2 Komrotti, and it is on the field in the southern side. And that could, you know, really put pain on Crippling Depression's early advance. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Right, we're just waiting for the two players to start the game. Okay, so here we go. So on the left hand side in blue, we have Crippling Depression playing the Panzerleiter on Vanguard incoming. Wow, look at this tank rush down in the southern side. And then on the right hand side in red, we have BigJim playing the 84th Guards on Balanced Income. He does have the IS-2 in the south. It's just whether it can get into... Wow, it's going very far south. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, especially this tank push in the southern side. I mean, these Pumas move very fast. And wow, look at the orders. Fast move. And then it looks like attack move and then fast move. The Pumas are engaging early infantry, I think. At least one of them stopped the 234/1. The M42 gun is going to get right the way forward into that southern forest. Up in the north, wow, those Panzergrens have dropped off very far behind the front line. And in the south, I think Crippling Depression is kind of working out where he wants to put his infantry. In the centre, wow, look at all of these units so close together. The Flammenwerfers and all of the PPSHs, a big infantry fight between the Guardia DP and the Panzergrens. But the Pumas have been discovered by the ZIS-3. Once taking a transmission damage, they are now firing on that position though. And the SBW 234/1 is pushing through, crew kill onto one of the Pumas, but that ZIS-3 gun is now pinned down and it will go down eventually. A P3, surprisingly, actually no, not surprisingly enough, can take out the Puma. So yeah, it does a fair amount of damage. Oh, it is a closed top vehicle, so actually yeah, the P3, it would be better off against a 234/1. Yeah, because you know that has a weak top. It's not a closed top vehicle. The Puma is though, and it's racing forwards. Oh, looks like no, that was the original transmission damage onto that. The Panther D backing away. Oh, it's seen the IS-2. Turret stuck. Coming down onto Panther D. Focke-Wulf 190 A8 R6 striking down, but missing the IS-2 Komrotti. Oh, and the M42 gun coming from behind. Crew panicking and gun jamming the Panther D, and down it goes as it was trying to get away from that M42 gun. That M42 gun has saved the lives there of BigJim. But wow, look at this Puma up here advancing forwards on fast move. Will it discover the M42 gun? The Panther is pushing forwards. I think at this range it can take out that IS-2, but the M42 gun is still there. It's out of line of sight. The Panther's backing off once again. He's trying to get around the building and does so. Gets out of line of sight. The Panzergren coming in now. Wow, he's racing forwards. He's trying to get the Panzergren all the way forwards. Interesting plays here from Crippling Depression. Looks like another M42 gun coming in, although he's coming in front of the road. Would have been better to unload behind this forest. Down goes the infantry in the transport. The M42 gun did manage to take it out, has unloaded, and Crippling Depression looks like his Puma and his Panther are about to get cut off. No, it's the Panther D Fuhrer, so it won't cut this tank off. He can't cut this tank off because the Fuhrer will hold the front line open. There are two Gepards here. We do have a commander as well, although it's out. I think that's out of range. Yes, he's out of range of his Fuhrer, so he isn't getting the double buff there. The Puma has just advanced. He's at the spawn. He's basically at the spawn up in the northern side. BigJim has pushed forwards with his infantry, Flammenwerfer and Panzergrens in there. They're engaging. The Flammenwerfer, well, they'll probably take each other out, the Flammenwerfer and Hognose. Yeah, they will take each other out, but the Aftermachiki obviously will hold on unless they get taken out of range to the Panzergrens. But the KV-8S is coming in now. Has to be a little bit careful from the Panzerfaust of the Panzergrens. I don't want to miss this. Oh, we got action here. The Puma looks like it's engaging the T-34 in this spawn, but does go down. So didn't pay for him. Did not pay for Crippling Depression getting that Puma all the way up there. Does have an SBW 234/1 in a, behind enemy lines, but that is going to get taken out of range once it's discovered, because that only has a short range on its gun. Yeah, 1,000-meter range rather than the standard 2-kilometer range. Up in the northern side, Crippling Depression. He's hanging on here. The KV-8S is pushing forwards, but I think Crippling Depression's going to lose out here. I mean, he might somehow get a Panzerfaust shot off, but I think it's unlikely. I think this KV-8S is just out of range, so he's just going to engage. Yeah, the Panzergren's out of range. So BigJim picking up a 13-11 now, and Russian reinforcements kind of all over the area. I think though, if you look in the southern side, there's a definite lack of infantry. Although these Flammenwerfers from Crippling Depression, if they push forwards, they can definitely take out the M42 gun. Another Panther A coming in now. The SPW 234 is discovered. Crippling Depression just loses that as he was trying to back it away out of line of sight. So both his recon vehicles behind enemy lines have gone down. Oh, crew kill. No, that was the earlier one. It looks like the M42 is engaging the Panther A. This IS-2 Komrotti has kind of held this southern tank push for now. I think if BigJim hadn't have bought that IS-2 Komrotti, this could be a completely different story right now. So BigJim, I think, rather in a way rather lucky. I guess it's his choice to bring in the units, but somewhat lucky to have that IS-2 in exactly the right spot. Down goes the M42 gun to the nice Focke-Wulf attack there, and the fighters will be too slow. And actually coming into range of the Gepards, the fighters will have to worry. Don't want to get taken out by those Gepards. Oh, I understand now. The Gepards are being upvetted by the commander. I was kind of wondering why that commander was there at that point. Oh, the Ognomachikis. Sorry, the Flammenwerfer's pushed forwards. He's out of the trees. Will he be able to take out this M42 gun? Surely. Surely, but the M42 gun's moved into range of the Panther D. Oh, sight damage onto the Panther D Fuhrer, but it's not the end. It's not the killing blow. These Flammenwerfers, they are now in range to attack, and that M42 gun is going to go down before he can get a next shot in. Oh, but down goes the reinforcing Panther to the IS-2 Komrotti. Wow, that's another Panther down. The commander's pushing forwards now, and I think he's trying to get in range. I'd like those Gepards to push up with him because, you know, they've got the nice upvet from that commander. But you know, Panzergrens are pushing forwards in the transports. There's a Pack 40 pushing forwards as well, trying to get that IS-2 Comroti kill. He's got to be worried about these transports. Oh, yeah, they're not pushing in a great place. I feel like they're going to go down. Oh, he's unloaded them. Good job, Crippling Depression. Right, we'll leave that up to the northern side. Look at BigJim. Look at the absolute massive amount of territory he's gained with this infantry attack, along with the KV-8S. And Pantaleo are going to struggle to kind of hold this area. It needs to use... I think Crippling Depression needs to use his 234/1s in this area. It's very tight. You have to be, you know, micro intensive, but they can do such a huge amount of damage to infantry. But he's pushing forwards down the road, and actually, you know, nothing will stop him. Nothing will stop him making this move because there's no AT up here in the northern side. So very interesting movement from Crippling Depression. Very much a tank commander pushing forwards with his tanks. Will the IG-18 go down? Oh, it's going to start having shots taken at it. Oh, does unload, but I'm not sure it's in the best place. Yeah, this is the problem from the blue side, is all of your units to reinforce this area come kind of... I think they actually come down this road and all the way down here and then up. It's either that or they come down this road along and up. Whereas you actually... There should be a road down here connecting this road with that road, I think. There should be a road through this light forest that connects like that. Because this area is really hard to reinforce for the blue player. But it looks like an airstrike from the IL-237 did attempt to come in and hit that BF SDKFZ 251/3 commander. Unfortunately, he didn't manage it. The Flammenwerf are going to win out against the old Machiki, but they aren't going to win out against the Sapri PPSH. They're going to go down. Yep, there they go. So, but there's just one Sapri PPSH holding quite a lot of ground here. Oh, look at this northern area. Crippling Depression's managed to get through the lines. And, wow, he's getting all the way forwards, but his units are going to get cut off. They're going to get surrounded and he's going to lose all of this territory. In comes a T-34E, but there is a Panther here this time. Before there was just a Puma, but this time there's a Panther. The SPW 234/1 might go down. I'd like to see this Panther, you know, maybe come up onto the hill, or I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do with it. I mean, it could stay around here so that at least it can back into the light forest if an IS-2 comes down here, but driver knockout from the T-34E, but surely that Panther is going to win out. Bounce. Wow, very unlucky. Very unlucky. Spalling hit. Will the SPW 234, I think it will come in and maybe pressure this tank, cause it to fall back, and actually we'll get the surrender from the fast... No, down it goes to the Panther, but they are surrounded behind enemy lines. However, the Panzergrens are going to come in and, you know, challenge the Cherno Pizzaniki for this compound. In the northern side, the KV-8S is still a big danger, but in comes the SDKFZ 251/9. It's very close to this Guardia DP. This Guardia DP could take it out with a PTRD, transmission damage, and I reckon next shot is going to take him out. Loaded and wounded. Maybe the next shot. Engine destroyed. Maybe the next shot. There we go, ammo explosion, and down it goes. BigJim recovers all of this territory back here. Look at these units from Crippling Depression though. Oh, will that reconnect the front line? It looks like the Cherno Pizzaniki did go down. I don't know whether there's a radio unit that went down there. Just down in the southern side, the IS-2 is still a huge presence. The Panther D Fuhrer has gone down. There is a Pack 40 in there now. Oh, that goes down. That goes down. There's a crew kill T-34E, I think, from the IG-18. But that's now out of heat shells. And this southern side, I think the IS-2 Comroti has just completely saved this southern side for BigJim. Oh, he's not quite reconnecting. Yeah, in comes an IS-2. As I kind of expected here, we are into Phase B. This Panther A needs to get off the road. I'd actually like to take it off up here, you know, and take it all through this light forest somehow and try and flank. Try and get some kind of flank. This Panther A is going to struggle at long range. Oh, the IL-237 comes in, but he's He's not switched off the bombs to use the 37mm, so he's just using the bombs and backing away. So BigJim, if you're bringing in an IL-237 bomber variant like that, switch off the bombs, then order the attack. So bring it in, order the attack onto, you know, some ground here, switch off the bombs, then micro the attack onto the Panther Ray. The Puma is pushing forwards, incredibly aggressive. Will he take down this IS-2? No! The IS-2 gets the hit and the Puma is gone. Wow, look at this Panzergren. The Sapri H just pushes completely past the Panzergren. The Panzergren's pushing forwards again. Wow, he's looking to switch. He's literally going for the spawns here. Like, this is play. I've never seen this kind of play before in Steel Division 2. Previously in Normandy, yes. But Steel Division 2, this is incredible. This is incredible. The Chernobyls and Ikis unload 2 against 1. It's interesting. I think the SDK said 251/1 is going to tip it in favor of. No, actually, I don't think they are going to tip it in favor. I think the Chernobyls and Iki are going to win out there, and actually the T-34E is going to help as well. The Panther A did back off the road, so that really helps Crippling Depression out. If this IS-2 pushes up at that kind of range, you know what? Less than 500 meters, the Panther A can definitely take out that IS-2. In the north, it looks like the Panther D's always in a dangerous position. This after Machiki, if BigJim orders this after Machiki squad down here to the edge of this forest, they'll be able to take out that Panther D Führer. But for the moment, Crippling Depression is pushing through. He's got Stern Pioneers, and they are being hit at range though. The units in the north have been surrounded. The SDK said 251/1 has cut off the front line. Oh my days, look at this. Crippling Depression has the 16-8 right now. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is just incredible. I think it's the Panther D Führer that caused this. Because it's a Führer unit, it can hold that front line. So I think that's what's caused the front line to switch in such a way. But BigJim is missing something massive here. If he just micros this after Machigi back, he can take out that Panther D Führer. Wow, there's lots of reinforcements coming into this centre town. I think the southern side is just completely held by BigJim. This IS-2 Komroti is just deadly. Just absolutely deadly down in the southern side. It's completely halted Crippling Depression's push. And that's why I think he refocused on the northern side. So it was a good decision by Crippling Depression to refocus like that. Looks like one of the Gepards has gone down. There is an SDK, I've said, mortar half track in there, which I think was, you know, smoking off that IS-2. That IS-2, if it just pushes forwards a little bit more. But yeah, it's in a dangerous position. Well, it's not in a dangerous position. If there was something in that forest, it would be in a dangerous position. In the northern side, looks like an IL-237 coming in again, dropping bombs onto the Panzergrens. I think BigJim just needs to pick up some micro. It's an IL-2 micro trick to turn off the bombs, so he just needs to learn that. Hopefully he'll watch this back and then maybe ask someone in Discord, either the official Steel Division Discord, my Discord, the Steel Division League Discord, and someone will tell him about that micro trick. Right, the Panther A is going to engage the KV-8S at very close range. KV-8S will get the first shot. Bounce and M explosion. Yeah, that's not surprising. But the IS-2... Wow, is that a... No, he's firing on the... Wow, I thought that somehow we've seen him there, but he's firing on the Panzergren. Oh, in comes the IL-237 here. Will he take down this Panther? Shoot a knockout. Transmission damage. Oh, does not take down that Panther, though. Does not take it down, but it's falling back. And where's it going? Where is that Panther going? Because if it pushes out, that IS-2 might be able to take it down. It looks like, yeah, BigJim is microing that directly onto the Panther. And I think the IS-2 is going to get the shot onto that Panther. And it does so and takes it out. So, relieves a huge amount of pressure on that northern side. I think if Crippling Depression would have been able to take down that IS-2, this northern side will be completely open for him. So BigJim, I think, has saved himself from with the 2 IS-2s. Crippling Depression at a 16-8 right now, though. And he only has 11 minutes, 59, 11 minutes to hold out in this position. But I think he's going to lose. He's going to lose some of it. The Panther D has kind of moved away from the forest. Oh, it's getting close again. Oh, that might be in range. That is so tight to that after Machiki. Will that after Machiki be able to throw the anti-tank grenade? I think he's just going to be out of the range. Yeah, he is. He's just out of range. And that Panther D Fuhrer just pushes out into a different position there. Interesting that he decided to fast move all the way around the front when he could have just moved it directly in there. So I think I would have just given it an attack move up into that position rather than the fast move. But, you know, that was Crippling Depression's choice there. In comes the Panther D, rushing forwards, very aggressive with his tanks. I think against a more experienced player, these kind of tank pushers, they won't succeed as effectively because there's nothing in front of this tank. There could literally be anything in this forest. There could be anything in there. There could be an AT gun in both of those positions. He does have a Panzergren here, which is scouting this side, so, you know, putting the tank back here is not so bad. In fact, I actually think that would be a good move right now. Try and get this Panther D across into this kind of position because he could get a side shot onto the IS-2. And in fact, the Panzergren here is moving into a nice position. If that could move forwards as well, that might be able to get the Panzerfaust shot off against that IS-2. Looks like BigJim has halted that IS-2 for now, though. Does pick up a flag back here. Crippling Depression has the 1410. He's bringing in a lot of Panzer IV H's, SDKFZ 251/9s, 234/1s, a Wirbelwind coming in as well. Not much infantry coming in for Crippling Depression. T-34E is getting hounded now by all of these tanks. And yeah, that T-34E I think is going to go down. Trax breaks one of the Panzer IV H. There is a M42 gun a bit further back. That crew knockout's another. All those tanks are so tightly placed now. But oh, finally the armor crack does go down onto the T-34. The Panzergrens are engaging the Guardia DP. There is a Guardia Comrotti back there. He's kind of giving an up vet. Ooh, those Panzergrens are taken out. So the Guardia DP does hold its position. I think the PE3 there was coming in for a strike onto those infantry units. Yeah, they were. Look at how close Crippling Depression is just holding these two flags here. That IS-2 Comrotti is still in place. I think he's trying to shell it with the SDKZ 251. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, I mean, the IS-2 looks a little bit... Right, it looks fine. It looks fine. So, it looks like Crippling Depression still has a 15-9 right now. Oh, the IS-2's gone down. Where is it? Is that it there? This is it. This is the IS-2. It went down to a Panzerfaust shot from the Panzergrens. Nice kill there from Crippling Depression. And I think this is why he's racing forwards his Panther D, because the big threat, the IS-2's gone. But there is a CIS-3 gun right here, and that Panther D could go down to this CIS-3 gun. This is why you want infantry in front of your tanks. But, I mean, wow, incredible. This Panther D now is stuck in a real tough spot. Look, it's aiming its gun the other way. It's, oh my days. Oh my days. Its frontal armor's... wow, this is going to go down any moment. The T-34E has got a side shot. The ZIS-3 has got like a frontal shot. Ammo explosion. Yeah, down goes that Panther D. That was very dangerous. And that's kind of why you don't push forward your tanks without things in front of them, because they will get taken out to a hidden AT gun quite easily. In comes like a huge amount of air coming into this central ground. There is a Wirbelwind in here. I think they're trying to go after these Panzer IV H's. Wow, this SPW 234/1 has somehow gotten behind all of the infantry. I don't know how that's happened, but it has done. It looks like the Wirbelwind has managed to hold off the planes. This is incredible play, incredible play. Crippling Depression still has a 13-11, needs to hold on for 15 minutes. And in the northern side, BigJim is starting to take hold of this northern position once again. Yeah, I was about to say, Crippling Depression needs to get something in this compound. He's actually using one of these Panzergrens to do that. The Sappery Rocks are going to engage the Stern Pioneers. And the Sappery Rocks should win that out. They're both engaging now. Oh, why is... Yeah, oh, wow. Stern Pioneers do pop smoke, so somehow the surrender is avoided there. Might be the Panther D Fuhrer, although that's got to be the real edge. So somehow Crippling Depression managed to keep his Stern Pioneers alive, but yeah. Wow, this Panther D actually is going to be completely unopposed. Oh, gun jam coming into the half track. Or the Panzergrens as a result are all pinned down by the explosion, and the Strafniki are beefy units, and they're just going to destroy those Panzergrens. I think Crippling Depression is doing the right thing with a push into this center ground. If you can get rid of the infantry in here, he can take hold of this center ground. So I'd like to see him do that. The AT rifles are always such a huge issue for these half tracks. Looks like the tanks are moving forward once again. The GV Comrotti goes down, although it does throw a grenade at the SDKFZ 251/9. Down goes a unit in the half track. It would have been Saperi. The infantry's gone down, so I think Crippling Depression is going to have this flag. It's just this small pocket of infantry. The Guardia DP, I'm sure... No, they can't quite see. So Crippling Depression picks up the flag. But there are PTRD rifles in here, so this SDKFZ 251/9 may well go down. I think Crippling Depression is also mortaring his own vehicle here. Wow, look at that shot up to the northern side. Unbelievable. Look at this shot from the 251/9 all the way up to the Chernopizhniki. Technically they're out of range, but I think because they're on the hill, somehow they're still in range. Wow. Oh, it's just unbelievable. I don't know what unit surrendered there. I think it was a Panzergren. In comes the IL-237 plane. Oh, the half-tracks are moving forwards. The IL-237 takes a shot, takes out one of the Panzer 4Hs. Engine destroying to one of the half-tracks from the PTRD of the Guardia DP, the Strafniki as well, taking out the other half-track in there. There's an IS-2 into the center ground. And Crippling Depression still at a 16-8. He's got 5 minutes left. He's got 5 minutes to hold on. This is so close. This is so close. The 251/1 half track is still in there. The Guardia DP finally surrender. The Strafniki, surely they're going to get taken out as well. And what a push into this in this center ground from Crippling Depression. Manages to get through all the units, but the IS-2 is onto the field right now. And this IS-2 is the big boy. He's got to find a way of getting rid of these IS-2s. Down in the south, the IS-2 has pushed forwards. And how can Crippling Depression get rid of it? In the centre, we've got an IS-2. In the north, we've now got an IS-2. Crippling Depression just has to find a way of getting rid of these IS-2s. Just look at all the infantry behind enemy lines. Crippling Depression cuts off another Chernopizhniki. It's 17-7. 4 minutes 50 left on the clock. 4 minutes 50 for Crippling Depression to hang on. And actually, in this central area, BigJim is looking in desperate straits, in real trouble. He's got reinforcing infantry to come in. This IS-2 is like holding everything right now. He's only got one more AP shot. This IS-2's only got one more AP shell on it. But it has managed to take out all of the vehicles down here. So no more vehicles in here, but there is just infantry. Crippling Depression probing with his half-track, and they will take out the Chernopizhniki. I think he's looking to push onto this flag. He's got a 17-7. There's 4 minutes left on the clock. If you can just hold the 17-7, that's all he needs. All he needs to do is just hold this 17-7. The IL-237, I think, will take down the Panzer 4H. Yes, it does. The IS-2 is here. That's going to take shots at the infantry along with the other IS-2 on the hill. Crippling Depression needs to unload this infantry because they're just going to go down in the vehicles. Otherwise, hopefully on foot they can just maybe avoid fire from the tanks. They'll certainly survive a lot longer. in the northern side. The Panther D Führer is holding this northern position. We've got infantry pushing in though, and BigJim I think will hold on to a flag back here. There's 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. Panzergren's pushing forward. Whoa, what are all these? Oh, I think these are on C's. I think these are on a C's command. So I think Crippling Depression is using a C's command down here to pick up this flag, and it's probably going to work for him actually. This C's command I think will work for him. He has to worry about this T-34E, but they're definitely going to get rid of the Cherno-Pizzaniki down here. Oh, BigJim's pressing forwards with the T-34E though. The commander has gone down. The commander has gone down. The IS-2 is holding this southern side, and this southern area is going to collapse for Crippling Depression. He's got a 15-9. He's going to lose this flag. Yes, BigJim halts the... well, ups the timer to 5 minutes 20 left on the clock. This is tight. This is getting tight, but surely Crippling Depression has it right now. Oh, the Panzergrens are pinned down. But the half-track's moving forwards, but that's just going to go down to the Strafniki. He would have been better off bringing it around this area and then out of, you know, maybe all the way back here. Around about here would have been like the best position, but actually the Strafniki could have just moved to the edge and shot it anyway. So he was just in an unbelievable position there. Back to a 14-10, 4 minutes 30 on the clock. Looks like an off-map coming in, the 203mm off-map from BigJim. He's bringing in just the right units at exactly the right moments in time to hold himself into this game. This is so tight. The Sapri PPSHs are rushing forward. He's picked up another flag back here. Crippling Depression, 13-11 up right now. But if one more flag loses, it's back to a 12-12. BigJim now has the income advantage, or he's had it for some time. We're 29 minutes into this game. There's 3 minutes 50 left on the clock. This is so tight. This is so tight. Crippling Depression needs to get the Stern Pioneers into this forest, recover the flag. Yes, he does. 14-10. 14-10. There's 3 minutes 40 left on the clock. The AL-237 is going to get called back. The Stern Pioneers are discovered by the Guardia DP, but the Stern Pioneers, they need to engage. They're not in range. They are not in range. Crippling Depression needs to push them forwards and engage. If he does so, I think he could have won that matchup, but I think now that he may well lose out. He has lost that flag. He's still 14-10 up at this point though. 3 minutes exactly left on the clock, but in comes Guardia DPs into this position. Crippling Depression is still on a seize command, I think, possibly a hold position, but a lot of this infantry is out in the open. The Guardia DP are coming in. There's also fire from the Cherno-Pizzaniki down the way. This is a very tight engagement. Who is going to win this one out? This is seriously tight. Whoever wins this one may well pick up the flag. It's still 14-10 though. 3 minutes left on the clock. Crippling Depression has to hold on at all costs. If this flips to a 12-12, BigJim could well win this game due to the income changes. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be really, really tight. 2 minutes 40 still on the clock. The Guardia DP do go into the buildings to pick up that heavy cover bonus. The Panzergrens are moving in there now as well. There's another Panzergren moving forwards. Oh, surrender onto one of the Panzergrens, but in comes an IL-237. Is going to drop its payload onto the top of the Panzergrens with the Panzerfaust. They get pinned down, but the other ones are pinned down as well. It's a failed assault there by BigJim in the central area, but the Sapri are pushing forwards. Oh, who is going to win out? Sapri against Pioneers. If Crippling Depression can hold on to this flag, I think he can hold on to the game. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. 2 minutes for BigJim to hold on right now. The Panther D Führer is pushing up, trying to get rid of this infantry, pushing forwards, but there is a lot of infantry here. It looks like, what is this? What is? Oh, it's a Nebelwerfer 42 coming in to strike onto the IS-2. May be able to pick up a kill here. Possibly. No. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately wasn't able to pick up the kill. Oh, off map. Off map coming down from BigJim onto this position, and the flag, I think, will change hands. If this flag changes hands, BigJim's back to a 12-12. This is incredibly tight, but he has managed to push into this central position. Oh my days. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. The Stern Pioneers did manage to kill out the Sapri. BigJim's advancing forwards once again. He just needs to pick up one flag right now. Just needs to pick up one flag. Another 2 IS-2s onto the field. This is incredibly tight. He has He has managed the 12-12. He has managed the 12-12. He's reconnecting the front line up here. But that's going to slip away from him once again. Crippling Depression back to a 13-11. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. His infantry has recovered. He needs to just get them into the buildings. But BigJim's pushing forwards now with Strafniki, and they are incredibly beefy units. 2 IS-2s in support. I feel like this area is going to get lost. This is incredibly tight. Still a 12-12 now. Where is this other 12-12? The Stern Pioneers have gone down, but the Sappery were pinned down. Oh, this Panther D Fury this Panther D is pushing forwards, but the Sappery could well pick up the flag. 1 minute 5 left on the clock. The IS-2s are engaging the Panzergrens, moving over the open ground. They need to get in the buildings immediately. This Panzergren needs to get in the building, and oof, this is so tight. The position's going to get lost. The position is going to get lost. BigJim's got the 13-11. He's turned it. The Panther D has gone down to the IL-237. What a big change. And that Panther D Fuhrer just completely flipped the front line. Less than a minute on the clock. BigJim has completely flipped the front line. He's up to a 15-9 and will win the game in 12 minutes. The Aftermachikia, no, they're not going to be able to take out the Stern Pioneers. Wow, that kill onto the Panther D Fuhrer just completely flipped it. 3 flags changing hands all at once. BigJim's got the 15-9. He has the 15-9. He's pushing forwards with the IS-2. It's going to come up against the Panther D, but I think, wow, how can Crippling Depression turn this around? He has to get back so many flags now. 16-8 to BigJim. Wow, 16-8 to BigJim. Oh, if this IS-2 takes out the Panther D, that is just going to be a desperate loss for Crippling Depression. The Panther D stopped for a moment. He was going to engage the Aftermachiki. BigJim did right to unload them there. The IS-2 is going to get into range. It's just a matter of time, and who's going to get the kill? IS-2 versus Panther. This is just so tight. IS-2 versus Panther is so close. These guys are getting so close. Oh my days. The Pack 40 just further up. Actually, this is going to get into a position to fire as well. Oh my, this could be unbelievable. Everything's going to fire. Oh, the IS-2 goes down. The IS-2 goes down. The IS-2 goes down. But how is Crippling Depression going to recover? He's got the Panther. If he can keep it out in the open, you know, he can hold the position, but he needs the infantry. He needs to take out this infantry to hold the ground. And that's going to be just a big problem for him. BigJim still has the 15-9 right now. 11 minutes left on the clock. And it looks like the Strafniki are just pushing through the centre ground. Just one after the other. And BigJim, the Whirlwind's in a tough spot. Transmission damage, loader killed. The PTRDs of the Guardia DP are taking that thing down. It's desperately trying to fall back and get out of line of sight. We've got a Panzer IV-H pushing up as well, but there are IS-2s around. There are IS-2s, and it looks like the mortar unit, that's just trying to take out these IS-2s. There's a Pack 40 in here. Is that going to be able to fire? Is out of APCR, and that IS-2 is somehow just out of line of sight. Isn't it strange how the Pack 40, this line of sight, it has gaps, but when you look at the IS-2 Comroti, there are barely any gaps. It's like a completely different line of sight. Oh, it looks like airstrike down into the southern side. Where are they going? Oh, they're going on to all of this infantry. Oh, just not in the right spot. Just not in the right spot. But the Sappery is just holding on for now. 14-10 to BigJim. He's got 20 minutes to hold this one out. Can Crippling Depression somehow? He needs to pick up 3 flags. I mean, down here it's going to be hard work. It's going to be really hard work. That Panther now engaging the Zis 3 gun. Oh, this is tight. Bounce. Oh, the Zis 3 gun's on its AP. He needs to open up his APCR. BigJim needs to open up the APCR so that Panther D can use the APCR against the Panther D. No, shoot a knockout. It gives him another chance. It gives him another chance. And I think the bombs, where are they coming? They are dropping onto... Yes, they are dropping. Oh, Crippling Depression. I thought he was going to back off that Panther D. Still, I think, in the in the lead right now. He has this, yeah, he does pin down the Zis 3 gun, and he should now be able to finish it off. Oh, he has picked up a flag here. It's back to a 14-10 to Crippling Depression. Sorry, to BigJim. It's still a 14-10 to BigJim. Wow, look at this approach here. He's trying to get the side shot onto the Panther D. Is he going to be able to turn in time? Is he going to be able to turn in time? Yes, I think he is. I think he is. Yes, he is. Oh, beautiful play. Beautiful play from BigJim with that IL-237. Does take down the Panther D, but Crippling Depression still has that flag. If he can somehow get rid of these infantry units in here, you know, he can maybe pick up this southern side. But BigJim has the 15-9, and there's a hell of a lot of infantry coming into this central position. I think, northern position. There's more infantry than this Panther can shoot in the transports. They're just going to push straight past the transports. The Panther's got no chance. And I'd like BigJim to get that Guardia Comrotti unloaded as well. But I think the Panzergrenz are going to go down to the combined fire of all the infantry. Crippling Depression, I think he's just trying to pick up this flag, but it's 13-11 now. 13-11 to BigJim. There's 18 minutes left on the clock. Oh, the half-tracks are pushing forwards, but again, they're pushing forwards into the fire of the PTRDs, but in comes the Nebelwerfer strike. Oh, look at the infantry go down to that rocket. I think it's like a 300mm rocket. Down goes now more infantry. There's one unit pinned down Guardia. Oh my days, if these goes down as well, that's another flag back to Crippling Depression. He is still in this game. He is still in this game. It's 17-15. Oh my god, he's managed to surround the southern units. He has managed to surround the southern units. He's picked up another flag. It's back to a 12-12. In comes the IL-237. It's the Panther goes down. Oh my days, incendiary. Oh, it's gone down. Oh, there's still a half track here though. There's still a half track. If he kind of holds it somehow back here, you know, like gets it out of line of sight, he may still have a chance. Just please don't rush it into the Guardian DP and lose that half track. Oh my god, BigJim still on a 14-10. He's picked up this flag back here. Crippling Depression, I think he will recover it. The Panther D is just desperately holding another flag. There's a Panzer IV-H coming into the northern side. There's 17 minutes on the clock for BigJim to hold this game. This is so tight. This is so close. The Sapri PPSH are engaging the half track with the Panzerfaust. Get the ammo explosion and the kill. Wow, this is so tight. If this half track goes down, the front line's going to flip again. I really feel like he's desperately trying to move the half track out of the way. I think he will be better. This is just so tight. It looks like the front line is closing. I think the infantry are going to recover this front line, and when it meets this lot, it's going to flip again. The Pak-40s are engaging. More airstrikes. There's been a hell of a lot of airstrikes from BigJim. He's definitely done a great job of keeping the pressure up with those airstrikes. And it's still 13-11. Down goes the Pak-40. Oh, this is so tight. It's 13-11 to BigJim. If Crippling Depression can pick up a flag, I mean, this one in the north, he's going to switch once that Panzer IV-H can get there. If Crippling Depression can pick up a flag, he's got like a minute. Well, he needs two flags. He needs two flags, doesn't he? It's got to be the center area. Where are the IS-2s? There's one up on the hill. I mean, wow, this is just so tight. Yeah, he looks like he's trying to push forward into the central area. We've got Stern Pioneers being caught out in the open, or I think they're pushing back to the front lines. They're trying to recover the position. And they are killing some units, but there's just too much around there. There's just too much around there. In the northern side, the Panzer IV-H is going to pick up a flag. I think he could pick this one here in the center. Somehow, if he got this half-track like right behind the building, he could sneak the flag. In fact, I think he's doing it. He sneaked the flag. It's 12-12. It's 12-12. If the Panzer IV-H can come up, he can maybe restart the victory tick. This is so tight. Oh my god, this is incredibly tight. This half-track. Oh, the strike. He's going to lose the flag. He's going to lose the flag. Oh my days. He picks up a flag in one area. He loses it in another. It's still 12-12. He's still holding the flag. Oh, this is so tight. This is so tight. He holds that one there. Will the Panzer IV-H? He gets that one back. It's still 12-12. It's still 12-12 because he's lost this one down here. Oh my This is unbelievable. This half track has to survive. Oh, it's now being hit by the Guardia DP and the IS-2. The IS-2 is going to take it out. That half track needed to survive in this southern side, but the half track's gone down. It's 13-11 to BigJim once again. He's lost this little area here. The units are pinned down. Oh, and the Panther D4 is desperately trying to hold on to this flag. It's being fired at by the PTRDs and the Guardia DP, but wow. BigJim, oh, forward comes a Panther 4H Fuhrer, and that could, if that can make it through, that will hold the front line, so I can see why Crippling Depression's doing that. This is unbelievable. His units have surrendered in the centre. BigJim's back up to a 14-10. There's 14 minutes left on this clock. This is just an incredible game. An absolutely incredible game. The infantry are in, the Guardia DPs are engaging the Panzergren. The Panther D is helping out as well. I think it will be okay in that position. BigJim, I think his Air Force is really helping him out right now as well. Really helping him out. The IG-18 is recovering a flag here. I think there's another one that's going to come in and recover a flag in the centre. The Panther D is surrounded now. It's being fired at each side, and BigJim is desperately moving through a ZIS-3 gun. It's got the APCR shots turned on. Surely, gun jam. It's got like almost a rear shot. The Panther D is desperately spinning around, trying to face its frontal armor. Unfortunately, it didn't do that in time. Fuel explosion. The Panther D goes down. The only thing I think that can save Crippling Depression will be the Panther 4H Fuhrer, but there is a Guardia Comrotti here. So actually, I think the two leaders will, you know, the front line won't really change, won't flip. BigJim up to a 16-8 right now. He's recovered the front line down here. He's picked up a flag. 16-8 to BigJim. And he will win the game in 6 minutes' time. I think I'm finding it incredibly... Oh, another Panther goes down. I think it was the IS-2 down here. Rather than the bombs that got the kill, but another Panther goes down. And I think that's it for Crippling Depression now. If you look at his front line, wow, it's like flags are being held by one unit at a time. This Panzer 4H just has to do so much, but I don't think he's going to be... I think it's going to be possible. Even once it gets there, I feel like an IL-2 is going to come in and take it out. I think this is over now for Crippling Depression. It's still 15-9. He's still fighting back, but I just can't see how he's going to managed to get back 4 flags. I can't see how he's going to get 4 flags back at this point. The Panzer 4H is pushing forwards. He will get a flag here because this will hold the front line. So he will at least get 1 flag, but he still needs to get another 3 flags back. And the Flammenwerfers are going to go down to the Aftermachiki, and then that's going to... The front line's going to collapse again. Oh, and look at this Ognamachiki rush coming through. Yeah, the front line is going to collapse here. And Crippling Depression is going to find himself on the back end of a 16-8 at any moment. In comes the IL-2 37s. Yeah, there goes the front line. And 16-8 to BigJim. Oh, it's going to be a 17. It's going to be a 17-7 surely. No, but there's still 4 minutes left. BigJim, yeah, here the Panther 4H. He does hold the front line open because it's a leader unit. Even if it's behind enemy lines, the leader units, they hold the front line. But eventually he's going to lose that Panther 4 eventually. We've got Panther Ds coming into the centre, but there is IS-2s here. There's an IS-2 in this centre area, so how are those Panthers going to get through? Planes are going down, but the Focke-Wulf is going to go down in reply. Probably that was an IL-230, an IL-2 bomber plane. It might have been a fighter. Wow. Another Panzer 4H leader pushing up, but it's been hit by the IS-2 back here. I think. The IS-2 up here as well. Yeah, BigJim 17-7 now. And 3 minutes left on the clock. Once this Panzer 4H goes down, another bombing run comes in. I think that's going to be the end of it. I mean, Crippling Depression could push forwards the Panzer IV-H, and oh no, there's the IS-2. Oh, this IS-2's moving into a deadly position. Oh wow, this is so tight. This is a really tight engagement. But they're all bypassing the IS-2. They're all bypassing the IS-2. Someone dropped a ping, but we can't see it because we're on the old patch. Oh, it's right here. The ping's right here. I don't know why he dropped that ping. I think maybe that was where the IS-2 was. I think that's where the IS-2 was, so he kind of tried to do a flanking maneuver, but the IS-2's moved position. Oh, but he has recovered the flag, but it's still 16-8 for BigJim, and actually, because he's moved the units out of that position, he's lost the flag down there. Oh, this is unbelievable. 17-7 for BigJim. We will win the game in 2 minutes' time, and I don't think there's anything Crippling Depression can do about that. There's not an absolute thing. In comes a major bombing strike coming in now from the PE-3s. Down goes the bombs. Oh, armor crack from the IS-2. Oh, and the others are falling back, hit by the bombs. The Strafniki should just push forwards and pick up the surrender. Oh, that IS-2, he turned around and took out one of the Panthers from behind. 18-6 for BigJim. 30 seconds left on the clock. What a game. What an absolute fantastic game, and commiserations for Crippling Depression. Look how close he was. Look how close he was. It was definitely less than a minute. There was less than a minute on the clock. I don't know the exact time left, but wow, that was just unbelievably close. Commiserations to Crippling Depression. He gave it his best, and he was just moments. I actually think BigJim with the IS-2 down here probably really saved him in this game. If you think Crippling Depression just needed a minute of front line, and I think if that IS-2 hadn't halted this armoured push in the south, then Crippling Depression would have won the game. I think he would have done. And there was another IS-2 that came in up here. Crippling Depression, he almost cut off the spawn. Like, and then the IS-2 came in and saved him. BigJim brought the IS-2 and saved him. So, like, that game was so close. That game was so close. But 50 minutes, 22 seconds. Congratulations to BigJim. Commiserations to Crippling Depression. BigJim wins it, 5,800 kills to 3,500 losses. Trades very well, but you've got to remember, Crippling Depression towards the end of that game, he was just desperately trying to get flags at all costs. So he was running his units forwards into positions you wouldn't normally do so, because all he needed was he just needed a victory tick for 1 minute, so he was just desperately trying to get flags. So you can understand why he lost a lot of units towards the end of that game. Let's have a look at the kill list. Oh my days, look at this IS-2. Look at this IS-2. 2 Panthers, the Commander. This is in the southern side, the Gepards. I mean, just look at the material in the southern side that the IS-2 took out. I think if it wasn't for the IS-2, all of this material would have pushed through the BigJim's lines, and I think he would have won that. Crippling Depression would have won it. Yeah, I genuinely think so. Wow, look at these Strafniki here. That, you know, just so many kills, so many kills. Another IS-2. I think there was only one IS-2 that was killed in this game. Another so many IS-2 kills. Wow. The IS-2's definitely kept BigJim in this game. Definitely. Let's have a look at the kills for Crippling Depression. I think it was a Panzergren that got the one and only IS-2 kill of the game. There it is. Panzergren with the Panzerfaust shot got the one and only IS-2 kill. No, I think there was a second one. There was a second one, the Pak 40. down in the southern side, I think, picked up the second one. Oh, a Panther D. Panther D picked up one. And a Nebelwerfer picked up one. So that's 3 IS2 kills. Were there any more? No, just 3. 3 IS2 kills. Wow. Congratulations to BigJim. Commiserations to Crippling Depression. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. That was intense. 50 minutes of just pure action. I really loved it. My voice is struggling now. But yeah, what a great game. What a great game. just absolutely great game. Really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, smash that like button, and hopefully more people will take a look at the match because that like button's been smashed. Hit the subscribe if you haven't done so. Also check out my description, the video description, for links to my Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, all of that stuff. You know, jump into the social media platforms and join the discussion with me about Steel Division 2. Don't miss out on anything Steel Division 2 that's happening. But yeah, great. What a great game. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time.